Hello everyone, this is Alex with Anchor Collectibles. It is Monday and we are doing a Commander Spotlight. We have two Commander decks left for the two color combinations. We have Gruul and Golgari, and today we're going to be going over our Golgari Commander deck. If you're looking for any products, check our store. Link is in the description of the video, and check out our other videos with our other Commander Spotlights. So for our Golgari deck, we have Viconia Drow Apostate. 2 and a black, legendary creature elf cleric with 2 power, 3 toughness. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 more creature cards in your graveyard, return a creature card at random from your graveyard to your hand with the background of Cloakwood Hermit. It's a legendary enchantment, and commander creatures you own have at the beginning of your end step. If a creature card was put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn, create 2 tapped 1/1 green squirrels. So the name of the deck is the Necromancer Hermit because we want to put things in the graveyard so we can bring them back for cheaper and have our player sacrifice. Now, there is another commander that can be used instead of Viconia in this deck, and that is Marin of Clan Neltoth, but this commander is a lot more powerful with that one. So depending on your play group, you can choose either or. So again, the point of the deck is to get creatures into the graveyard so you can bring them back later, whether it be mill. So we got some mill cards in here, as well as other ways to discard. There's a few mill cards, and then Lultelth Troll allows you to discard a creature card to put a counter on it. We do have some recursion besides the commander. The biggest one after everyone's graveyard is full is Living Death. You are going to be milling some lands. So we got Groundkeeper, which allows you to bring back a basic land, and then Ramunap Excavator, which allows you to play land cards from your graveyard. Mimic Vat allows you to exile a creature that dies, a non-token creature that dies, and then you can make copies of it. Huatuo, put a creature card on top of your library. And then Nissa, which untaps your land, so sort of it's a pseudo ramp, and then allows you to bring back a creature card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control. We do have quite a bit of removal in this deck. We got Avatar of Woe, a lot of targeted removal, as well as with this one, attrition. You can do it over and over again as long as you have a creature to destroy a non-black creature. And then we also have board wipes. So before the board wipes, we have ways to make our opponents sacrifice. Vertis's Maneuver is one of them, Plaguecrafter, and then Savra, Queen of the Golgari. And this gets around hexproof, it gets around indestructible, making our opponents sacrifice. Our board wipes are Extinction Event, Gaze of Granite, and the second half of Finality. You put 2 counters on a creature you control, and then all creatures get -4/-4. Urborg exiles cards from a graveyard when it enters or attacks. And with things dying, we do have some payoffs. Ran will, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain life, so it drains. Sir Conrad, same thing. It's also part of our mill package. Poison Tip Archer, reach Death Touch. It's a good blocker, and it also drains your opponents. Blight Mound, we get a pest token when a creature dies, and then that pest token, when it dies, allows you to gain a life. Tabarax gets 1/1 counters. We don't have a lot of clerics in this deck, but if a cleric dies, you also draw a card. Mazarek, whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, you put a 1/1 counter on each creature, so it makes your stuff bigger. We are going to have things leaving our graveyard. Desecrated Tomb gives you a 1/1 counter, and then Tormod himself gives you a zombie. Willowgeist will get 1/1 counters. When it dies, you gain life. So how are we going to sacrifice our own things? We have a few sack outlets. Our main one is Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Sacrifice 2 creatures, gives you mana, you lose 2 life, and each player, you don't lose 2 life. Each player loses 2 life, sacrifices a creature. It's also card draw. This is one of our main cards in here. Death Reap Ritual. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature died, you draw a card. Oh, this is our draw package. Morbid Opportunist does the same thing once per turn. Ravenous Squirrel gives you 1/1 counters and then is also a sack outlet. Voldaren Bloodcaster, you get a token, a blood token. If you have 5 or more, she transforms. And every turn on combat, at the beginning of combat on your turn, you can make one of those tokens turn into a bat. Harvester of Souls, Draw Engine. Commune with Beavers is in here because it either gives you a land, an artifact, or a creature by looking at the top 3 cards. So this is our pseudo card draw. We do have ways to find our cards that we want. This is our tutoring. We got Mausoleum Secrets. Unmarked Grave actually puts the card into the graveyard. Varagoth, boasting it allows you to search for a card, put it on top of your library. Magus of the Order, you can bring a creature onto the battlefield by sacrificing a green creature. Fiend Artisan does the same thing, and it gets +1/+1 for each card in your graveyard. We have a few cards with counters. Skull Bryad keeps the counters. Where's the other one I just looked at? The Fiend Artisan has a +1/+1. Nimble Mongoose is in here because of the Shroud. It also gets stronger with cards in your graveyard. Graveblade Marauder's got Death Touch, and when it deals combat damage, that player loses life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So we are going to have a lot of creatures in our graveyard, so this drains them. High Market is a sack outlet, and Witch's Cottage allows us to bring a creature back. So those are 2 lands that we have in our mana base that we can use. The way to win with this deck, it's meant to grind out value with recursion, life gain, and then also some tokens that you use to sacrifice to gain that value. Jared is one of the main cards. It gets +1/+1 for each creature in your graveyard, and you can sacrifice another creature, and each opponent loses life to the sacrifice creature. With Marin, with all the recursion, you can sacrifice a creature and then bring it back. And we have Mortivore. Its power and toughness is equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards. So if you can get this guy big enough, you can sack it to Jared to take out one opponent, recur it, do it over again. Now, as with all our decks, we do have some ways to steal our opponent's stuff. But before that, I'm going to go over our mana ramp. Song of the Dam works well with this because you get 1 black for each creature card in your graveyard. Kodama's Reach, search your library for 2 lands, 1 on the field, 1 into your hand. Leyline Prowler is a mana dork with Death Touch and Lifelink. Deathray Shaman, you exile a land, gives you mana. You could also drain your opponents or gain life. Somberwald Sage taps for 3 of 1 color. You can only use it to cast creature spells, and we have a lot of creatures. And Twitching Doll, which is one of my favorite cards from Dustmourn. It gives you mana, and you can sacrifice it to make green spiders, and then reoccur at a later time. So to our thieving, because we like to steal things. We have 2 cards that allow us to take our opponent's things. Nashi Moonsage's Sign. It's got ninjutsu, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of each player's library. Until end of turn, you may play one of those cards. If you cast a spell this way, you pay life equal to its mana value, rather than paying its mana cost. You take whatever out of the 4, you take the one that you want, cast it without paying mana, so you cheat it out with life. And then Smeagol. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, the ring tempts you, and there are going to be a lot of creatures dying on our turn. And when the ring tempts you, target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a land card, and you put it onto the battlefield tapped under your control, and the rest into their graveyard. So this is mana ramp. This is our Viconia Drow, the Necromancer Hermit deck. What would you change in the deck? What would you add? Would you use Marin? Would you use Viconia? Would you use any of the other legendary creatures in the deck? Because we have quite a few that are legendary and Golgari color identity. Check out our links in the description to our other Commander spotlights, our sealed product openings, and check out our store if you're looking for any singles. We have mostly Magic the Gathering, but we do have a few Pokemon cards, a few of the other trading card games. And again, thanks for watching. Check in next week where we will go over our Royal Commander deck.